Hello, beautiful people. This is Gabby from mythesiscoach.com. And today I want to share an idea with you that I came across recently, which has done awesome things for my thinking around my own productivity. And I'm hoping it's going to do the same for you as you think about your thesis writing productivity. So, this was the quote I came across. Well, it's not a quote, it's an idea. And you've probably come across something quite similar before. But let me go through it with you. Most people overestimate what they can do in the short term and underestimate what they can do in the long term. So most people overestimate what they can do in the short term and underestimate what they can do in the long term. So just think about that. Does that resonate with you at all as you are thinking about your thesis project, what you need to do, all the different steps involved, how much you are doing already, how productive you are being? And let me tell you a little bit why this resonated with me so much. So I am a person who likes to achieve stuff. I like to finish things. I like to tick things off lists. I like to write chapters. I like to submit articles. That is how I generally roll. So for me, unless I'm doing those big things, it often feels like I'm not succeeding, like I'm not actually achieving anything. And yet, what this quote says, well, to me, what this quote says is that it's not only about working in the short term to achieve those big goals. You know, here I'm talking about all-nighters before the paper submission deadline. It's not about that, but it's about keeping consistent in terms of the work that you do. It's about taking lots of small actions over a longer time in order to achieve more than what you thought you could initially achieve. Let me tell you a little bit about how I think this could work out in terms of the thesis. It means that you're not only thinking, okay, what do I need to do to finish the goal right now? Let me crack it, let me smash it, let me get it done. It means that you are thinking long term. You are thinking, what if I keep working at this, if I keep chipping away at it consistently over time, you are going to be able to achieve that goal and goals that perhaps were even bigger. So this translates for me particularly in terms of consistency. When you are writing a thesis or working on a thesis project, it highlights for me how important it is to show up consistently. It's not all about pulling wild all-nighters, although we've all done that, right? It's not only about that. It's about making sure that you are coming back again and again and again, getting that bum in your chair and just chipping away at this massive thesis project. And it doesn't have to be huge things. I always say this. It just means sitting down and reading an article. It just means sitting down and writing a paragraph. It just means sitting down and engaging with your data for a little bit. Those little things over a long amount of time can lead to something really big and probably better than what you could do if you're pushing it in an all-nighter. So that's the one thing. So it's about smaller bouts of writing over a longer period of time and what those can result in. And that's the one thing that I wanted to say. Secondly, I'm all about planning. You will know that now from my videos, from my blog, from my coaching, those of you who I work one-on-one with. But I've heard students talk about a supervisor who tells them consistently to trust the process when it comes to writing a thesis. And this obviously drives them crazy, and I can understand why. It's so amorphous and like untangible. But what I want to say to you, relating back to these words, there is something beautiful about trusting the process and knowing that you are going to get there in the end. And if you think long term, and if you think about showing up consistently and how that showing up consistency is ultimately going to lead you to reaching your goals in the end, trusting the process, you are definitely going to get there. So I hope that in today's episode, I hope that in today's video, I have inspired you to think a little bit around the value of thinking long term in terms of your project, in terms of showing up consistently, in terms of ticking off little things on your list, but getting those done, and how those might feel small but can ultimately add up to something big. If this interested you and you would like to engage some more with thinking around the kinds of things you will need when it comes to writing your thesis, do go ahead and download my free thesis starter kit. Absolutely free. I cover the basic skills, knowledge, planning, and so on that you are going to need when you are approaching a thesis writing project. I'm always around to answer your questions online. You can visit mythesiscoach.com, where you'll find links to all my social. And I wishing you many consistent, successful, teeny tiny thesis writing sessions that add up to something great eventually. Bye.